Hello, 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 John Mason. How is everybody? Hope you're okay. All well. Well, at long last, after over, if I understand, 250 days in the Middle East, fighting uh, uh, fighting Trump's losing cause in Iran, the USS Abraham Lincoln will be replaced in the Middle East by the USS George Washington, and Lincoln will be is going back to her home port in San Diego, so that the sailors and Marines on board can get real decent food, sanit, real sanitary conditions, and, finally get in touch with their loved ones. This goes to show you how little our commander-in-chief and his minion moron, Pig Hog's Breath, think of our men and women in uniform. I just leave them there, to hell with them. That's what you can expect from a commander-in-chief who looks down at our military men and women as suckers and losers. And more Navy news. The United States Navy was planning to name a new Ford-class aircraft carrier, the USS Dory Miller. Now, Dory Miller was a crew member on one of the ships in Pearl Harbor in December 7th, 1941. The Miller worked at a laundry, but when the shooting started, he took over an anti-aircraft gun, which he was not at all trained in, and fired back at the Japanese fighters attacking the base. And he was the first black seaman to win the Navy Cross. But you know, Higgs's and his war on woke, his war on anything that reminds us that people of color and women and LGBTQ people have contributed positively to our country. They canceled naming the carrier after Dory Miller. And they're actually talking about naming it the USS Donald Trump. My God, this guy has an Oedipus complex. More disgrace. He tries to name everything after himself, like the United States Institute of Peace was shut down, and then he renames it the Donald Trump Institute for Peace. And at the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, they took down his name from on top of the John F. Kennedy, and underneath it, but now they're trying to put it back on, the name of Trump back on. I believe, yes, it's the sycophants, the bootlicky board of the Kennedy Center that Trump installed, and naming the bomb something like refurbished under President Donald Trump and all that crap. And he has that and his Arc de Trump, that big triumphal arc patterned after the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, which is supposed to be a monument to his glory, overlooking Arlington National Cemetery, filled with suckers and losers he looks down upon. And just remember, by insulting and degrading our military men and women, he degrades the working classes, the people in the small towns and the farms, from from whence come our military men and women. And here's another historical note. August the 28th will be the anniversary of the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom in 1963. It is a march remembered for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. Sorry. And it was organized under the leadership of A. Philip Randolph, the great African-American labor leader, along with his longtime assistant, Bayard Rustin, who handled the logistics of the march, like the transportation going to Washington for that day, and organizing the news media and the porta potties and the first aid stations, all that stuff. And see, but Bayard Rustin was held in the background a lot because he was gay. And that was a very homophobic era in the 50s and 60s when he worked. And just remember, I mentioned the full name of the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, because discussing class in this country remains a great taboo. It's like sex back in the day. We don't talk about it. But just like sex, we have to talk about class. How this band of billionaires dominate our politics, our government, our media, our lives, much to our detriment. And Rustin and King and Randolph knew that race and class were intertwined. The liberation of black people also had to include the raising up of white working class people. And part of the coalition that helped organize the March on Washington were labor unions, in particular the United Auto Workers under Walter Reuther. We have to remember that the Republicans for too long fed white working class people the notion that they're somehow superior, and the black guy they're working alongside is going to get their job or got their job through some sort of affirmative action program or a DEI. That's the classic story. It's gone on for centuries, since the colonization of Virginia. White lower class people pitted against black lower class people and slaves. Give the lower class white people some minor privileges so they can be under the delusion that they're superior to the low-income black people. That is what we have to face. It's gone on from the George Wallace for President campaign in 1968 to Richard Nixon's Southern Strategy to Ronald Reagan's harping about the welfare queen to Ronald Reagan in Mississippi in the 1980 campaign, proclaiming, "I believe in states' rights," meaning the states' rights to oppress black people, and the Willie Horton ads that at the 1988 campaign, the great patrician George H.W. Bush conducted. That we have to fight that. Racism is an issue for the working class and has to be addressed. That and once it's addressed, once white working class and black working class people understand what their common enemy is, now we can get some real progress in this country. And the billionaires in their fine country clubs and will be shaking in their Gucci loafers about the working classes waking up to who their real enemy is. And on that cheery note, advertisements. All this work I do on my podcast, my blog, my YouTube channel, my fiction, my poetry, is all work. And I need to be paid for my work. I put out money to get my material on these platforms. And I need to be compensated for it. And with enough money, raise it all to a higher level. So please get on my website, johnomason.com, and click either the PayPal button or the Buy Me a Coffee button and see what it can give. I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks. And also, Hemperific is a lovely little CBD product store located on Snyder Avenue near 15th Street in South Philadelphia. There you'll find some of the finest cannabis-infused products. Gummies and drinks and teas and lip balm and flour and hand sanitizer and dog treats. Yeah. Look them up, please. HemperificLLC.com. And also my beloved career and business coach, Michelle Snow. Michelle is excellent in helping you develop your professional career or small business. Let you know what you're doing right, where you need work, and help you network with other up-and-coming entrepreneurs and professionals. Look her up, please. GrowWithSnow.com. Okay. That's it for me. Now the weekend's beginning. And let's ponder on these things as we chill over the weekend. Thanks. Shabbat Shalom. Bye.